Hi, my name is Michael Santos, and I'm continuing to offer these lessons to help people in prison understand the importance of investing in themselves. It's super critical for every person in prison to figure out, how am I going to emerge from this experience successfully with my dignity intact? That's one of the reasons for our course on the digital economy. We want people to be able to learn how to speak the language and how to put themselves in a position that they can prosper regardless of what the job market is doing. The more a person learns, the more a person can demonstrate he can bring value, the more he empowers himself to overcome the challenges of incarceration. That's one of the lessons that I learned while going through 26 years in prison. It's the reason that our nonprofit sponsors these courses, thanks to sponsorship from the Righting Wrongs law firm and from White Collar Advice and these other commercial groups that provide the resources, allowing us to disseminate these programs through the Adovo platform, through prison systems, through our website at prisonprofessors.com. We are on a mission to try and help more people emerge successfully with their dignity intact, and that's why I'm going to continue reading. This is going to be lesson number 6, and in this lesson on the digital economy, we will be going over some of the terms. So let me go ahead and start reading. And as an example, you'll notice that I'm creating this lesson in both the audio format and also the video format using technology that is just part of the digital economy. This is something that anybody can do when they come home. You've got to learn how to create your own income streams, and we create income streams by creating value. So let me start reading from our lesson number 6 on the digital economy. To learn more about the digital economy, we have got to broaden our vocabulary. That isn't always easy if we're locked in a solitary cell or if we don't have access to a classroom, a teacher, or a dictionary. In this 6th lesson, we'll define terms that we have used in the earlier lessons. While I served my sentence, I developed a strategy to help me learn new concepts and develop my vocabulary in business or other subjects. I'd read the Wall Street Journal or other business publications. Each time I came across a word that I didn't understand, I'd write the term on one side of an index card. I'd look the word up in a dictionary, then write the definition on the other side of the index card. I'd carry the cards with me. Whenever I waited in lines, I'd flip through the index cards and test myself on what I have learned. This strategy improved my comprehension. By learning more, I felt more empowered to create or seize opportunities. Of course, if a person doesn't have access to the dictionary, it's harder to learn the terms. And with the digital economy, the terms are so new that older dictionaries will not include them. With this lesson, participants can broaden their vocabulary of terms in the digital economy. I encourage participants to learn them at their own pace. And so this lesson, we're going to talk about those terms, right? 51% attack. Well, this is a potential attack on the blockchain network. It would mean that a single entity or organization would be able to control the majority of the hash rate, potentially causing a network disruption. It is unlikely to happen because it would take too much computational power, making the effort an unprofitable and an inefficient use of resources. Altcoins, alternative cryptocurrencies to Bitcoin. Examples include Ethereum, Litecoin, and Ripple. Each altcoin operates according to its own rules and protocols. Bitcoin halving. This is the event where the reward for mining new blocks is halved, occurring approximately every 4 years. It ensures that the total supply of Bitcoin will not exceed 21 million coins and that the network releases the Bitcoin into the economy gradually over time. We do not anticipate all 21 million Bitcoin to be in circulation until the year 2140. Block. A file that permanently records Bitcoin transactions. Each block contains a list of recent transactions, a reference to the block that came immediately before it, and an answer to a complex mathematical puzzle. The blockchain. Well, this is a public ledger of all Bitcoin transactions that have ever been executed. It is constantly growing as completed blocks are added to it with a new set of recordings. And I just spoke about the Bitcoin blockchain. There are many different types of blockchains. And as we learn more about the digital economy, we will develop a better understanding of those different blockchains. Blockchain address. an identifier that represents a possible destination for a Bitcoin payment. Addresses are alphanumeric strings derived from public keys and are used to receive and send cryptocurrency. It is like an account number or an email address, which you would give to anyone from whom you want to receive information. Block hash. Now, this is a unique identifier of a block in the blockchain generated by passing the block's header through a cryptographic hashing function. Think of a block hash as a unique code for a block in the blockchain. It is like a fingerprint for a block of transactions, the recording of who sent and received Bitcoins. When a miner puts a transaction into a block, the miner is processing it through a special formula that gets scrambled, then generates a unique string of numbers and letters unique to the transaction. Bitcoin units. Divisions of a Bitcoin. This is the smallest unit is a Satoshi, which is 100 millionth of a single Bitcoin. So to use an analogy, think of a dollar, but a dollar is divisible by 100 units, which are pennies, okay? Or 5-cent increments, which are nickels, or 10-cent increments, which are dimes, or 25-cent increments, which are quarters. And I think there's still some 50-cent pieces as well. Well, it's the same thing with a Satoshi, but it's 100 millionth of a single Bitcoin, okay? Bitcoin wallet, a software program where Bitcoins are stored. Wallets facilitate the sending and receiving of Bitcoins and give ownership of the Bitcoin balance to the user. There are different kinds of wallets. Some wallets have the entire blockchain, a full wallet. Others record a portion of the blockchain, which is a light wallet. Cold storage. Keeping a reserve of Bitcoin offline as a security measure to reduce the risk of theft from hackers or other online vulnerabilities. To access cold storage, a person must always know the key to a cold storage wallet, or the Bitcoin will be non-recoverable. Consensus mechanism. The process used to achieve agreement on a single data value among distributed processes or systems. Bitcoin uses proof of work as its consensus mechanism. Decentralized applications, also known as DApps, applications that run on a peer-to-peer network of computers rather than a single computer. Decentralized finance, DeFi, financial services such as borrowing, lending, or asset trading that are provided without the need for a traditional financial intermediary and are instead conducted on a blockchain. Double spending, a potential flaw in digital currency systems where the same digital token can be spent more than once. The Bitcoin blockchain prevents the possibility of double spending with cryptography and network consensus mechanisms. A fork. This is a change to the software of the digital currency that creates two separate versions of the blockchain with a shared history. A fork is a part of the blockchain protocol requiring consensus from the network. Full client wallet. This is a Bitcoin wallet that maintains a full copy of the blockchain and independently validates transactions or blocks. Hash rate. This is the measuring unit of the processing power of the Bitcoin network. The hash rate directly affects the efficiency and speed it takes to discover a new block and add the block to the blockchain. A higher hash rate means the system can make more computational guesses per second, increasing the chance of solving the puzzle necessary to mine a block. Initial coin offering. An ICO. This is a fundraising mechanism that is similar to an initial public offering in the stock market. It allows companies to raise capital by issuing digital tokens in exchange for cryptocurrency, like Bitcoin or Ethereum. Sometimes the token brings advantages such as the right to share future profits of the company. Keys. These are strings of data used for cryptographic purposes in Bitcoin. It includes a private key and a public key. They're like passwords that people would not share to protect accounts. Private keys include a secret alphanumeric codes that enable the spending of Bitcoins from a specific wallet. Public keys can be shared openly that are used to receive funds. A lightweight client wallet. A Bitcoin wallet that connects to the Bitcoin network but does not download the entire blockchain. They are more convenient for people to manage crypto for everyday use. Mining, the process by which the new Bitcoins are released into circulation through compiling recent transactions into blocks and solving complex mathematical puzzles. Now, in the previous lesson, I spoke about, these halvings take place every 4 years, which directly influences the miner. Right now, when it started, they used to give 50 Bitcoins to the miners for every resolution. So a person would get 50 Bitcoins if they solved one of these prop puzzles that built the blockchain. After 210,000 transactions, that mining was cut to 25. So it's halved every 4 years. Then 4 years later, it was halved again to 12.5. Then 4 years later, it was 6.25. That's where they are right now. Well, in April of 2024, it gets cut in half again to 3.25. And every time this happens, it's super important because that really influences the digital economy. So mining is the reward that is the miners get rewarded for their work by getting Bitcoins for solving the problem or mining more coins. Today, and I'm filming this in February of 24, there's only 900 new Bitcoins introduced into the market every day. But after the next halving, it'll only be half of that, 450 coins a day. And so as supply continues to rise, demand continues to rise, supply is going to continue to fall. I'll leave it up to you to figure out whether you think that's going to be a positive influence on pricing, meaning they'll be more valuable. Non-fungible tokens. Now, this is a type of cryptographic token on a blockchain that represents a unique asset. So it doesn't have its own blockchain, it's built on a blockchain. NFTs can be used to prove ownership of digital items like artworks or collectibles. They do not have their own blockchain like Bitcoin. Instead, they are built on top of existing blockchain platforms that support smart contracts, which we'll cover in a later lesson. The most popular blockchain for creating and trading NFTs is Ethereum. Others include Solana and Flow. Now, when I was creating this course, you'll see while we are creating this project as both a digital book, meaning you can download it for Kindle, and a soft cover book, which you can buy from our Amazon store, an audio book, which you can get from Audible. We'll also convert this into an NFT. So it becomes one of these non-fungible tokens. It's one of the strategies we are going to use to produce assets that support our work at Prison Professors. So you'll get to see that in real time through this digital course. Proof of work. This is a consensus algorithm used by Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies to secure the network, validate transactions, and create new blocks on the blockchain. It differs from other consensus algorithms, such as proof of stake. Satoshi Nakamoto. This is a pseudonymous person or group of people who created Bitcoin and wrote the original white paper. I don't really know if it's a pseudonym or not. Just nobody's ever identified who is Satoshi Nakamoto. That's just the name of the person, as we discussed in one of the earlier lessons, who started Bitcoin in 2009. Smart contracts. These are self-executing contracts with the terms of the agreement directly written into the code. We will have specific lessons on smart contracts in the future to show their use in various applications, including finance, supply chain, real estate, and voting. Tokenization. This is the process of converting rights to an asset into a digital token on a blockchain. This particular course will become a token, a non-fungible token. Transaction. That's a transfer of value between Bitcoin wallets. Each transaction is recorded on the blockchain. A white paper. This is the original document that Satoshi Nakamoto published to introduce the concept of Bitcoin and lay out how it worked. Typically, other cryptocurrencies begin with the company publishing a similar white paper, which would provide investors with detailed information about the project and the problem it sets out to solve. I will develop individual lessons that offer more details and explanations on the terms above. So now we'll turn to the investment portion of the lesson, which is in every lesson. Because in the previous lesson, I'm going to continue to show how I am using my growing knowledge of a cryptocurrency to make it a part of my long-term investment strategy. After making my first 2 purchases, I continued to dollar cost average my way into the next purchase. I set a goal of purchasing between 5 and 10% of my total net worth into Bitcoin, or putting 5 and 10% of my net worth into Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. But I intended to make the buys gradually. After a steady decline, down to below $39,000 per Bitcoin, the tide began to turn. On February the 9th, 2024, at 6:49 p.m., the price per Bitcoin rose to $47,812.72. I chose to add to my holdings, purchasing a half of a Bitcoin for a total cost of $24,444.25, inclusive of the higher Coinbase fee of $537.89. That's 2.25% per Bitcoin if you buy it right on Coinbase. If you go to Coinbase Advanced, I learned that you can get it a little less expensively. Total investment in Bitcoin at the end of the day on February the 2nd, 2024 was $113,604.27. The total holdings at that time, I had 2.5 Bitcoins, and the total value was $119,538.80. So the gain, you'll notice that I switched to a profit of $5,934.53. So the value of my holdings now surpassed the total amount that I had paid by $5,934.53. We might say I'm in the black at that point. Disclaimer. Now, for full transparency, I always have to say I am not an investment advisor. Our nonprofit, Prison Professors, offers these lessons for the singular purpose of helping people in prison learn more about the digital economy. I provide information on my personal investments to show that even a person who served 26 years can participate in the digital economy. I'm an investor and a speculator, understanding the risks. No one should invest in any asset class without a strategy and a plan, as shown through our introductory lesson. Preparing for success after prison. I should say that's our introductory course. Always develop an understanding of investment risks, especially with cryptocurrency. Now, here are some critical thinking questions for everybody. If you're willing to participate in our advocacy efforts for reforms that will allow people to work toward earning freedom, please provide your responses to the following questions. 1. In what ways does a decentralized finance differ from centralized finance? 2. How would you differentiate Bitcoin from a token? 3. In what ways would building your vocabulary on the digital economy influence income opportunities for you? Now, here's the advocacy initiative. Please share your story in response to the manner that works best for you. And you can send it, if you've got access to email, right to interns@prisonprofessorstalent.com. In the subject line, make sure that you put digital economy course so we know what you're writing about. If you don't have access to the email system, send it through the regular mail to Prison Professors of the Digital Economy course at 32565 Golden Lantern, Suite B-1026 in Dana Point, California. And if you have access to Adovo, please use the tablet itself and just send it inside of the Adovo tablet so that we could build your course. So I wrote that the 3 most recent lessons are Bitcoin history was lesson number 5. I just read lesson number 6 on the digital economy terms, and I have to check and see what is lesson number 7 because I didn't write it down. So let me see if I could find that for you. Lesson number 7 is going to be on decentralized finance. So I'm going to write that into the course itself, just digital economy. And that's going to be on decentralized finance. Okay, so see, I'm giving you like this real-time instruction on how to prepare for the digital economy. This is something that I think that every person in prison should invest time to learn. As you could see from this course, there are a lot of new, it's like learning a new language in many ways. And I'm learning it along with you, but I'm also building businesses around it. It is one of the ways that I am supporting or striving to build our nonprofit is by introducing this not only to people in prison, but I'm using the digital economy. You'll see I'm publishing this on YouTube. I'm publishing this on iTunes. I'm putting this as an Amazon book. I'm publishing it on Audible. I'm creating our own non-fungible token. And I'm just trying to show you that none of this would have been possible without a better understanding of the digital economy. But if you understand the digital economy, if you develop a language you're not going to, you're going to be stronger in being able to create your own income stream, even if the job market is not friendly to you. And that's really what Prison Professors is all about. It's about investing in yourself so you can become stronger, so that you can become more valuable in the digital economy. My name is Michael Santos. I really want to thank you for being a part of the Prison Professors community. I'm very grateful to my collaborator, Ryan Salem, who made this course possible. I'm very grateful to our sponsors at both White Collar Advice and also the Righting Wrongs Law Firm. These are two organizations that make our work possible by providing the resources we need to keep producing more content for the digital economy. I am Michael Santos, and I believe in you. Thank you.